Selling a house that you inherited, $450,000, how should you invest the money? I'm a certified financial planner, been an advisor for 12 years, and own my own financial planning practice. So obviously, nothing I say should be taken as advice, but here's a couple things that I would consider. I would first try to crush any high interest rate debt. Then you can move up to the first stair step, which is going to be cash. So we're just going to call that the emergency fund and short-term goals. The next stair step, you could consider some fixed accounts, bonds. This is a really hard stair step to invest for. And honestly, in today's environment, it's really not earning much more than cash. Now, if you don't need to touch the money for 6 years plus, then I start talking about investing. And the reason is because the stock market is very volatile in the short term. But over most 5, 6, 10-year periods, you have a really high probability of success. And this is where you're going to find things like the 401k, Roth IRA, HSA if you're looking for tax advantageous wealth building, or you could just go with a good old-fashioned taxable account that you have really no limitations on. And what's really cool is that you could invest almost every one of these the same or very different depending on what you're trying to accomplish. For example, the 401k may have limitations as to what you can invest in, so you might be just looking for some good old-fashioned index funds, which probably is your best bet anyway. So maybe you're able to stay low cost and globally diversified amongst your retirement accounts. Now what's kind of tough for you is that if you're inheriting a lump sum, you can only do $23,500 into the 401k, $7,000 into the IRA, and if you're single, like $4,000 into the HSA. So you're only talking about like $35,000. So this taxable account is going to be where most of the money goes, unless of course you're funding some short-term or mid-term goals. Now, I really can't give any individual investing advice, of course, but I will say if you're trying to get more money into these tax advantageous accounts, you may want to keep a higher cash balance so that you could run a monthly deficit so that you could jack your 401k up as high as it possibly goes and be able to save money on taxes. Because sadly, you can't put all $450,000 into an IRA as much as I wish you could. So by running a monthly deficit, hyper funding these accounts year after year, you're kind of almost moving money into those tax advantageous accounts. Hit me up if you have any questions. Happy to help.